A parable of the Great Supper.
All right, let's get eating. This is Luke 14.
Let's get
Get
munching on.
to the Great Supper.
Great Supper.
Yeah, so Luke 14, starting in verse 15.
Now, when one of those who sat at the table with him heard these things, what did he hear?
That was, oh yeah, they were talking about when you invite the feast and when you give a dinner or supper, do not ask your friends that can repay you, but invite people that the poor and the people that won't be able to bless you back so that you can be a blessing.
I mean, don't worry about who you invite. Help people,
Help people, exactly.
and that matters more.
Yeah, because you will be blessed because they cannot repay you. For you shall be repaid at the resurrection of the just. That's verse 14.
So it's a kind of shove against rich people. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, just so that your motives aren't for to get the riches back if you're helping someone that has riches. So not really a snob against riches.
Well, I only say that because you now have the rich people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you're doing a fee. You just make sure your heart is when you're inviting people that your heart is in the right place.
Right.
Yeah. That's like, you know, right here in your body in the right place. Just joking. Spiritually in the right place. I'm only joking. Sorry.
In your stomach.
Yeah, we found it in this.
So he said to him, Blessed is he who shall eat bread in the kingdom of God.
Mm, because that's really what we need to be looking at is the kingdom of God, right?
Right.
Even the just giving the doggies a few little snack. That's all that noise.
They'll enjoy the snack.
Yeah,
Then he said to him, so Jesus now,
yeah, I'm telling the story, the parable, probably.
a certain man gave a great supper and invited many, like he did,
Yeah.
and sent his servant at supper time to say to those who were invited, Come, for all things are now ready. But they all, with one accord, began to make excuses.
Mm.
The first said to him, I have brought a piece of ground, and I must go see it. And I ask you, have me excused. What? He's got to go look at dirt.
You gotta go look at her, kind of, yes, but if you put it like that, yes.
And
Yes,
another said, I have bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I'm going to test them. I ask you to have me excused.
he's gonna break up the dirt.
Right. Still another said, I have married a wife, and therefore I cannot come.
Okay, that's fair.
Right. That one's fair.
Maybe they're all fair in their own regard, I guess.
I think maybe the timing.
Yes, the timing, yes.
So that servant came and reported these things to his master. Then the master of the house, being angry, said to his servant, Go out quickly into the streets and the lanes of the city, and bring in here the poor and the maimed, and the lame and the blind. And the servant said, Master, it is done as you commanded, and still there is room. Then the master said to the servant, Go out into the highways and hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. For I say to you that none of those men who were invited shall taste my supper.
Now,
So if there
is
is a great supper, right?
Yeah, so is he talking about in a spiritual way? Is he talking about Jesus came to share the good news with the Israelites or the Jewish people, right?
Mm.
Or and Pharisees and everyone, right? But are they
Oh,
making
so Jesus is throwing the Great Supper.
hmm, I think in some ways there's probably many, many, many lessons to be learned here. But and then if the because the Jewish people rejected it, not all of them, obviously
Right,
not
and those are the excuses.
right. Then he went out to the byways and the other areas like
Go
us,
talk to the poor.
exactly, or the Gentiles that
And
were
then the
not,
Pharisees said stuff about that as well.
yeah, but did he did invite the sinners, right? The Pharisees didn't complain, but God was did go get the people, right? That would not have been accepted at a Pharisee dinner, maybe, you know?
Right.
And some of the Pharisees did believe, so I'm not ruling them all out, but just that,
Or maybe it's a testament to having to make choices.
mm,
Because he said, none of you who were invited, who didn't come, you don't
right.
get to supper.
So if
But
you don't
that's not like,
and accept
that's just a
it,
statement of fact.
right,
They're not going to come. They're not going to be there to taste the dinner.
right. So if they go with my idea, with the Jewish, then they don't come, they don't accept Jesus, then they're not part of the kingdom, right? Then
Right. If that's what the purpose of the Great Supper is, which I think this is what he's trying to say. Like, this is
yeah,
why we're all here right now.
yeah. But then there's the practical part of you're not gonna get the food.
Right? If you don't come.
Right. Hmm. And then
Um,
it sounds like he keeps going, or is that connected in your
so it does say leaving all to follow Christ, but it
mhm,
is, I think that's why I said decisions.
decisions?
Then that
Yeah,
sounds decision-y.
it does sound that we have to make up our mind if we want to follow God or not.
Right.
No lukewarm.
Oh, lukewarms. Now great multitudes went with him, and he turned and said to them, if anyone comes to me and does not hate his father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yes, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple.
Mm,
Oh, okay. And whoever does not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple.
wow.
For which of you intending to build a tower does not sit down first and count the cost, whether he has enough to finish it? Right, that seems reasonable.
Right. Yeah.
It's just like, you know, you're not perfect kind of
Mm,
thing. That's what I'm getting.
that's what you're getting. Okay.
So
About
it
the
says,
cost.
if you don't hate anybody in your life, you can't be my disciple.
Now, is he when he says hate, right? Is he saying about like putting them first before God? Like, I will do your will, Lord.
So putting God, are you
Putting
saying
God.
putting God before somebody is hating the other person?
I mean, right. It seems pretty strong of a word, hate here, doesn't it? I think in comparison to how to accepting God or loving God, you know?
Hmm.
Mm. Well, keep reading so that I don't.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mm.
And whoever does not bear his cross, yes. Where was I?
And the tower, you did 28.
All right, you're
Yeah.
gonna sit down, you're gonna count if I have enough to build this entire thing.
Yeah.
Lest after he has laid the foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it will begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish.
Mm. It's
Or
interesting. Like it's it's like this is all related to the other thing, right? So you're counting the cost. Go ahead, keep going. Sorry.
Well, yeah, you didn't plan ahead.
Yeah. But do you plan ahead when you accept God? Or
I think
you,
you accept not to plan ahead. I don't
mm,
want to sound like irresponsible, but you can plan ahead as far as you can, but you can't like take in the unforeseen.
or is counting the cost like in the building the tower, you count the cost of the material, but
Well, like you're building a foundation. You're going to maybe one person or organization that does foundations, even back then, right?
right,
And you would have one fixed cost. So
right.
unless that went drastically wrong and you overspent your entire house budget on a foundation, I don't know how else you get there. This is some real misplanning.
So, so if we take that principle of planning back to the verses of 26 and 27, the cost of following Jesus might be that you lose your family because they mightn't agree with you.
I think, yeah. Or at least, yeah, they won't understand.
They might not understand, but your eye has to be on the building of the house and preparing or building up the kingdom of God.
Right, at the end of the day,
So
if that
even,
test is still coming, you still got to build.
yeah. So then he's going to give us another example in 31, another analogy, I think would be. I'm not sure if that's the right word.
Who knows? It's gonna work today.
Yeah.
Or what king going to make war against another king does not sit down first and consider whether he is able with 10,000 to meet him who comes against him with 20,000? Or what, or else, while the other is still a great way off, he sends a delegation and asks conditions of peace.
Mm.
So likewise, whoever of you does not forsake all that he cannot be my disciple. So likewise, whoever of you does not forsake all that he cannot be my disciple. So
So think of
we
it.
are saying caution to the wind here. We're saying throw all
Well,
that stuff. None of that matters if you're going to be my disciple.
or is he saying that so likewise, whoever of you does not forsake all? It feels like there should be a comma after
Or
all.
you do need to take that into account to
Yeah.
be his disciple.
Right. You do need to take that into account. That
Okay.
you are abandoning all, right?
Well, look, if put your mind there, mother, right? You're a commander, Sidel,
Yes.
and you're in charge of people's lives, and you have 10,000 people. Well, 10,000 army. Let's say you have 100,000 population because your army is 10% of your population, and that's pretty good.
Okay.
You're a small village, who knows? And then you get wind of an army coming, and they have 20,000. And it's like, do you want to maybe make peace with them before they get here? Or do you
Right.
want to wait until they get here and figure it out when they get here?
After they start killing,
Right. Maybe it's too late then.
Right. So you're using wisdom.
What do you think?
If the Lord tells
Either
you,
that, or you better spend that time setting booby traps, right? And
yeah,
using the land to your advantage.
Lord, yeah, you
'Cause
would
that's
definitely
your
need
other option.
wisdom, Lord, right? You would definitely want to be seeking the Lord.
Right. Some guidance.
Hmm.
Oh. And then tasteless salt is worthless.
Mm.
Because why else you got salt?
Why do you want to use it if it doesn't have the taste, right?
Look at this.
Or back there, they use it a lot for,
Every chef in America, well, in the entire world, will rejoice. Salt is good.
yeah. Oh,
But if the salt has lost its flavor, how shall it be seasoned? You're right. You're so right. It is neither fit for the land nor for the dunghill. I wouldn't even put it on a mud pie,
I know.
but men throw it out. He who has ears to hear, let him hear.
Wow. That is a lot to ponder, I must say. But for the chef,
Oh,
that's good news.
it is. That's it, right?
For us, it's good news.
I mean, they probably used it for preserving, right?
Yeah. Preserving, they did, yes. Yes.
So it had different, but who knows? Still cooking.
Yes. And are we ready to forsake all? Like it says in verse 33.
Yeah, we were reading Revelations, and it seems like it's going to be one of those decisions, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Uh,
Don't wait too long. Don't wait at all.
don't wait at all.
Yes. Yes.
Find
Pretty.
some peace.
Yes.